The emperor was stunned to discover that his blood was mixed with that of a beggar girl. What was even more baffling was that he had never shown favor to any concubine. Yet, at that very moment, the face of a woman flashed through his mind. 10 years earlier, he had met the daughter of a wealthy merchant and believed he had found the love of his life. But, to his surprise, she had thrown away their keepsake and climbed into another man's carriage in anger. The emperor had hated her ever since, unaware that the young woman had been falsely accused by her uncle and risked prison to protect him. She had pushed him away deliberately. Afterward, the emperor returned to the palace and swore never to marry, unaware that the woman was already carrying his child. Shortly after giving birth to a daughter, the woman was imprisoned again due to new accusations by her uncle. 10 years passed. Determined to save her mother, the little girl went out every day searching for her father. One day, while the emperor was inspecting the affairs of the people, the girl recognized the man in the carriage and ran to stop him, claiming she had finally found her father. But the emperor didn't believe her. He hadn't loved any woman in 10 years. Then the girl showed him a portrait of himself, but that only deepened his belief that she was lying. He tried to leave, but the child held on to him, begging him to save her imprisoned mother. The crowd mocked the girl, saying that if her mother was in jail, she must be a bad person, and so must the child. Hearing this, the emperor felt disgusted and walked away silently. Out of curiosity, his brother invited the girl to visit him the next day. She came, bringing with her the few coins she had saved over a month, and went to see her mother in prison. The woman, unaware that the emperor was the father of her child, begged her daughter not to risk her life for her. The next day, the girl went to the imperial uncle and dropped a single drop of her blood into a bowl. The man told her to go home and wait for news. Seeing that all the other children had fathers, the girl couldn't hold back her tears. Back in the dilapidated hut where she had grown up, she began counting her coins again, hoping to save enough to see her mother once more. Her grief led her to cry out for her mother. But it wasn't her who appeared. It was her malicious uncle, who had seized her mother's inheritance. Though he lived in comfort, his mismanagement had led him into deep debt. Now, he wanted to force the girl to reveal the location of the remaining inheritance so he could sell it and repay what he owed. The woman had left the inheritance to her daughter for survival, and the girl knew that once it was gone, it would be gone forever, so she refused to speak. Meanwhile, the imperial uncle had already handed the blood sample to the emperor. The grand empress rushed in, pleading with her son to verify whether the girl was truly of his blood, and if not, then the mother should be punished for deceit. Reluctantly, the emperor agreed. But to everyone's shock, their blood matched perfectly. There could be no doubt, the girl was indeed his child, and the only face that returned to his mind was that of the woman who had abandoned him 10 years ago. The grand empress rushed to welcome the mother and daughter, and the emperor himself set out, thinking of the suffering the little girl had endured all those years. His heart ached with pain. She should have been a noble, pampered princess, but instead, she had been tortured by her uncle and cousin. She cried out, insisting her father was the emperor and that he would regret everything one day. But no one believed her. They thought she was just clinging to the inheritance and filth. Desperately, she tried to protect what was left of the inheritance, but her uncle used force, and she couldn't resist. That's when the emperor finally arrived on the scene.